So yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome to this quick patch review of the gameplay update 7.22c. The last patch was on the 27th of the last month, so like 2 weeks ago, roughly. So let's get right into it. We have item changes. We have a Ring of Basilius getting bonus damage increased from 7 to 8. It's a convenient buff. I mean, I don't think it did much. I don't think it's like a big difference in that sense. Yeah, so let's already quickly go over to the hero changes. We have Axe, base movement speed increased by 10. I don't know what his base movement speed is now. 305. Honestly, that's not bad. One thing you need to think about when these small buffs come in is simply also try to remember like what happened the patch before. And if we look at the patch before, I'll show it in a moment. I remember this hero was buffed last patch. I believe he got 1 base armor, 3 base damage, and perhaps something else. So you have 308 base movement speed now when you join the game. If we look last patch on Axe, okay, it was the 722 then, and not 722B. So Axe in 7.22, he increased, his base damage was increased by 3, his base armor was increased by 3, and then he got a reworked scepter. But your Battle Hunger is AoE now, when you use it, and it reduces your enemy's damage by 30%. Also remember that Battle Hunger gives you movement speed and slows them. So it's a 400 AoE slow that speeds you up and lowers their damage output on a 5-second cooldown. So honestly, it's not that bad. And I think if you combine all these buffs, 3 base damage, 1 armor, 10 move speed. Considering that he was a slow hero before, he was a sub 300 movement speed hero, and he had 1.2 base armor. His armor got bubbled. His armor got doubled. His base damage was slightly increased, and his movement speed was slightly increased. So I think it's very convenient buffs. I won't go out and say that Axe is overpowered now, but we need to remember all these buffs that do happen to these heroes in a row. Okay. So I think Axe is certainly starting to become a lot more interesting once again. Bubbled and buffed, yeah. So we have Bad Rider, Flaming Lasso. I mean, this hero is very interesting. It's one of my best heroes. It is a bit sad that he does get nerfed. He got a Firefly nerf last patch in terms of cooldown. Now he gets a Flaming Lasso nerf. 10-second cooldown with level 2 ulti. I actually think that these two hurt a lot. These two numbers, 1980 and 90 to 80 and 80 to 60. The difference is quite big, especially in a hero like this that is constantly looking for kills, looking for plays, and this is like your main spell. In order to kill heroes, you need the spell. In order to, like, whether you cancel TPs, BKBs, you know, whatever, lock a guy down in a team fight. This does matter quite a lot. I think this hero is still great, and if you want to nerf the hero, this is probably one of the better ways. But I think it's a justified nerf. Hero's very good in many roles, so I'll take it, whatever. Bloodseeker got a base armor increase. Let's have a quick look at the hero. 4.8 armor. If we just look at the level 1 got nerfed also one of the last patches. The lasso, you mean? Let me Google that real quick. Bad Rider changelog. I can show that also on the stream real quick. So you guys, it should be fine if I show this, right, during my patch review. I'm sure it's fine. So we show display capture. You guys still see me and everything else? Okay, sounds good. So this is this patch. Last patch, you sadly got an increase on Firefly. So nerf here, nerf here. In 7.21, they buffed him. They gave him base int. They reduced the duration. They reduced the cooldown. But they gave him this stuff. They gave him bonus move speed during Firefly. Here they buffed him a bit. They lowered his base health. Blah, 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 blah. They gave damage to Lasso. Yeah, Lasso hasn't really been nerfed before this for quite a while. It got a buff somewhat recently. So yeah, Bloodseeker. I mean, if you look at the stats of this hero level 1, it's pretty good. They changed Rupture last patch that it's lethal again. I don't know if anything else was changed on this hero recently. I know that they reworked his Thirst a while ago. Oh yeah, so they nerfed his Agi growth by 0.4. This Blood Rite buff, I think, is really big. It's 125 damage spell. Remember, damage type pure. Damage 125 level 1 for 70 mana. That is huge, man. That is a lot. You nearly get 2 damage per mana that you spend. That's a lot. Like, it's very much. So they buffed this. I don't know how this Rupture, if it's a buff, nerf, whatever. I have not played this hero or played against it. But they're buffing these heroes like very minor buffs on these heroes. I'm not sure how much this 1 armor is gonna matter, but it's a good start. And I'm a Pepega. 3 ad blocks, let's look at that. 3-3 Smurf, Arteezy Smurf. Yeah, I like to watch replays of other players. So we have a Bristleback. Bristleback base damage increased by 3. This hero has pretty trash base damage, as you can see. 47 to 57. 3.7 armor, decent move speed. Like, overall, this hero has pretty decent stats, base stats. So, plus 3 base damage, it's nothing crazy. Did he get buffed in 7.22? He got a... Oh... So he got a base armor buff in the last patch. He got a warpath buff in the last patch, where you get +4 more for each stack. And then his Axe was buffed. Like, all these heroes, you should really pay some attention to these, because all these continuous buffs, they really matter. Chaos Knight. Chaos Bolt mana cost reduced from 140 to 110, 120, 130, 140. Pretty good buff. Also, this hero was changed in 7.22. I think he got pretty good buffs in 7.22, if I'm not mistaken. So his strength gain was reduced. But now... Okay, right. They buffed the Phantasm Scepter, that they take less damage. So I think it's very good to get Phantasm to use it on one of your allies. Potentially even for yourself. Chaos Bolt. They will... Minimum damage increase. So basically you will always deal more damage. 30 more in level 1, then 20, then 10, then the same. And the maximum damage was also increased. It's the same level 1, then it's 10, 20, and 30 more. Minimum stun was also increased by quite a bit, to be honest, if you look. 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, then it's the same. And then, so basically a buff all around. So this is, honestly, this does matter. Let me put on shuffle real quick, because I'm just listening to Spanish music on Rundown right now. That coupled with the buff he got here, with the mana cost, I think that pretty good buffs. I think Chaos Knight's a good hero. Might be a hero that I do want to try. I think his Scepter is very interesting. I'm listening to stream on headphones so that the VOD doesn't get muted when I upload this to YouTube. So we have Chen. Chen, I think, was owned. But we have to read. Divine Favor aura no longer provides bonus damage. Divine Favor now has the recall ability instead of Holy Persuasion, and it has a 60-second cooldown. Divine Favor HP regen increased. So the HP regen stays, the damage was taken out. Recall was put from spell 2 to spell 3 on a 60-second cooldown. Holy Persuasion now provides the old aura, the damage of the old aura, it stays on the creeps. But the aura does not affect heroes anymore in terms of damage. They increased the penitence mana cost. I don't think this matters so much. Talent, XP gain reduced. Holy Persuasion damage. It's basically the same, just that it won't affect heroes anymore. They changed it from 7 armor to 30-second Divine Favor cooldown. So all Divine Favor does now when you use it is... Wait. So Divine Favor is only recall now, and the aura, is that correct? So you heal, this fucking set. So you still have the heal increase aura, you have the regen aura, and you can still, it was double increase before already. Yeah, it's the same numbers, guys. It's the same numbers. The dominant creep doesn't get the damage anymore, if that matters. So the damage aura is gone, which means the heroes don't benefit from it. The creeps don't really care. The creeps will care depending on what your skill build is. Because you did max this spell before. I mean, having recall on a 1-minute cooldown is very long. It's a pretty big nerf to this hero. Not gonna lie. Pretty big nerf. Probably still playable, but big nerf. Let's move over to Klinks. His level 10 talent was removed from changed from 5 armor to 8 agi. and his other one from 12% magic resistance to 10 strength. Both these talents are very good. This hero is squishy, so getting 10 strength is good. I would also rather have 8 agi than 5 armor. 8 agi gives you some armor anyway. It gives you some attack speed, some damage. It's pretty good. Level 15 talent change. So you lose the strength talent later on, and you get a burning army cooldown talent. So it will go from 110 to 80. In 7.22 they buffed the spell. Well, it depends how you see it, but they buffed it later. They changed searing arrows to cost less mana but deal slightly less damage. I'll say overall this is a buff. What is his other 15 talent? That's what I wanted to look at. He has searing arrows damage or burning army cooldown. Okay. I think this is a small buff. But yeah, Klinks is an interesting hero. Has not been very tested from what I've seen. Clockwork.
Subscribe,
Battery assault.
Interesting.
Yo, Rekta lol, thank you for the tier 1 sub, I appreciate it. Thank you for the 6-month resub. Let's look at Clockwork. This hero has also been getting buffed these last patches. So in this patch he gets a battery assault cooldown reduction by 8, 6, 4 and 2 seconds. That does matter. Let's look at the recent patches. What happened to Clockwork? He got a mana cost reduction on Rocket quite a while back. Clockwork. So he got a base armor last patch. He got some Rocket mana the patches before that. I mean, they're trying to make Clockwork work. Clockwork work low. This hero has just very awful base stats, level 1. Low damage. Very low damage. Mediocre armor. Good movement speed. Good base HP. So, you know, he's good. Dude, this hero had 1.1 base armor. They gave him 1 last patch, now he's 2.1. I mean, it matters. This hero is coming back slowly. And I like it. I would like some different type of buffs on Clock, but it's fine. It's a small buff. Darkseer. I'm not too surprised that this hero is getting nerfed again. Surge 5% movement speed reduction on each level. I'll take it. I'll still play the hero. Talents. Level 20 talent reduced from 100 Iron Shell to 80. Remember that you were swapped this talent for the AoE Surge. And AoE Surge is on 25. And Iron Shell is now on 20. Thank you, Fisher. It's okay nerfs. Still a good hero. I don't mind it too much. Dark Willow, base attack speed increased. So they reduced the base attack time. Now they buffed the base attack speed. They're kind of trying to counterplay that nerf again from the last patch. Shadow Realm, max damage duration reduced. So they turned it from 3 to 4 and now they're compromising on 3-5. I think they kind of regret over nerfing Willow. They nerfed they gave the hero an Aghanims and then nerfed the base hero that affected the Aghanims, which is stupid in my opinion. So I like these buffs to somewhat try to revert this. Dazzle, bad juju, cooldown reduction increase. So you have 6%, 3%, and then the same cooldown reduction. It's a minor buff, it definitely helps. And then it changes level 10 talent from health to 30% XP gain. Your other talent is 75 damage. Oh boy, if you go like early Necrobook on this hero, then you take the... I don't know if you want to take the XP gain talent if you're a core. Probably sometimes, yes. I mean, both your 10 talents are very strong, right? 75 damage, which is nearly a permanent double damage room for your hero. Or you get 30% XP gain. If we look at his other talents, XP gain talents are often very good on heroes that have other great talents, okay? So, his 15 talent, it's okay. You know, you get some cast range or you get some shadow, some more heal or damage. 20 talent, you get movement speed, or 45 poison touch DPS. I think the poison touch DPS is very strong. And then 25, you have 40% bonus poison touch, slow, or the ulti reduction. How much damage does the spell deal on level 20 if you take the talent? You basically double the damage. It's a 97 DPS spell that slows and stacks. So fair. I think it's good buffs. We'll have to see what's up. Dragonite, he got a base intelligence increased by 3. That's a very random buff. He has 290 base mana. Why the fuck? What? Why did we give him 3 int?
Your middle tower is under attack.
Breaking the jock stereotype one stream at a time. Hey, what up, Adam? What's up to my favorite streamer from an old man, 36 years old and a police officer? Pork Champ. Hey, man. Glad to have you here. Very happy to hear that. I respect your job. I mean, this is weird. Like, usually, like, int increase on these type of heroes, like... Did this hero have a hard time using all his spells together? Not really. It's 100, 150, so it's not like, oh, you need a soul ring to cast all your spells, right? But whatever, I'll take it. I like this hero. I don't think this changes a lot. It's not like it doesn't change any of your spell combos. Whatever, I'll take. I don't know if it changes anything with like your whatever, breathe fire, whatever. It's a minor buff. More haters? I don't know. I think people with a brain respect it. All those type of jobs should be respected. Nurse, doctor, policeman, you know, you name it. Then you have a talent, slight buffs on his talents. Level 10 talent, brief fire damage reduction. I think this is a good talent, underrated, because the mana region, I feel like you don't always need it. If you buy drums or clarities, you know, it's good enough already. I'm out of beer, send me some Bitburger. Soon, brother. Level 15 talent, some health increased. I usually like the damage talent more anyway, but small minor buffs. I don't think this changes too much. I think the hero's already okay, so I don't mind it. Elder Titan. He was slightly buffed after being nerfed in some of the last patches. In terms of his Elder... The Astral Spirit, the damage on creeps was heavily reduced. It used to be 7 damage level 1, now it's 3. But now they... Also, these numbers used to be there at some point back in the day, but they nerfed it, so now they're putting it back to that. So you gain 20 damage instead of 15 level 1, 40 damage instead of 30 level 2. So this matters a lot level 1 and 3, and then later on it's the same numbers again. It's a small convenient buff to him. Enchantress, this is another hero I think that's been getting a lot of buffs recently. I think this hero over the last patches has been buffed plenty of times. Let's check 7.22. Can I type Ench? No, I can't. Sad. I feel like you should be able to type a hero name. No, Ench was not even touched in 7.22, huh? And it was touched in 7.21D. Base strength increased by 1, base int increased by 2. I think then it was touched in 7.21C. She got more damage on her ulti. Same, 2%, 4%. She may have also been touched in 7.21B. No. Not B. Did she get touched in 7.21? This was the big patch. I like a really big patch. She was touched here. Oh, this was way back when the hero Notice started playing it after this buff. I mean, this hero keeps getting buffed, but I don't know. It's just a weird hero. It's an interesting hero that some people should maybe look at. Yo, Adam. Thank you for the 500 bits. 10 people got a reward in the chat. Let's go. But... Oh, they reduced the enchant cooldown by 2 seconds per level, and then impetus the range. It matches the hero's attack range. I will try that later, Mr. Twiddler. Enigma, intelligence gain reduced, whatever. I think it's fine. This hero is very strong. I don't mind this nerf. Faceless Void was buffed in this patch. So we did research before this review, and this hero has been getting some minor buffs in the, like, recently. Chronosphere radius was increased by 25. I'm gonna check that in a moment just to see if I like instantly feel a change. And then time lock was increased by 2% per level. This is not bad, remember. Not only... So what happens when you time lock? When you time lock, you stun them. You know, you hit them, and obviously you potentially bash them, and then you spawn an illusion that hits again, and that illusion can bash. So this small buff can matter, because if I show it to you, I'm gonna do this until it happens. The illusion, the thing you spawn that bashes can proc bash itself. We're gonna do this until it happens. It has not happened yet. Unless it happens too fast. Maybe I just have to do this and then check the damage. It's 120 if I hit it alone. There, double bashed. Did you see that? So not only does it increase your chance of bashing, it will also increase the bash's bash chance of bashing, okay? Not many people know this. Also the bash, it deals 40 bonus damage, and then your illusion deals damage again, okay? The bash thingy, so basically you deal your attack, if you proc the bash, you deal your attack damage plus 40. It is very strong. I mean, this guy would instantly die. Like, if you pay attention how much damage this bash would deal, it's like a lot of fucking damage. Bash's best chance of bashing, bashes. Bashing basher. So yeah, decent buffs on Void. I'm still not sure how good this hero is, because I'm a big hater. I used to like this hero a lot, but over the time he's been very heavily nerfed. Huskar gets a small buff. I think this hero is pretty garbage right now. This is a pretty convenient buff, especially early game. 20% more slow, not bad. Invoker, base armor increased by 1. What's your base armor now? 2.2. It's a nice buff. I don't know how much it will change, but yeah. Io, attack range decreased by 75. Base armor increased by 1. Strength gate increased by 0.5. What I don't like what I'm reading so far.
So begins a new age of knowledge.
Tether region reduced by 15, 10, 5, 0%. Oh yeah, I need to test the chrono area. Tether cancel now has a 0.25 second cooldown to prevent accidental use. Okay, for all you noobs out there. Spirits no longer slow. And his level 10 talent was changed from 20% XP gain. Okay, so if you want your spirits to slow, you need to use the talent. And you don't have an XP talent anymore. So you either take 45 damage or spirit supply slow. Okay, this is decent nerfs. I think it's still a very strong hero. But okay. Coddle. Will-O-Wisp radius increased by 25. Whatever, man. Who cares? Lich. Base int increased by 2. Sinister Gaze cooldown reduced by same 2, 4, and 6. Because you maxed Tether last. I know it's huge, but it's 50. I mean, it's 15%. It's okay. Let's test phase as Void real quick. W phase. R.I.P. to my youth.
I am the Elder One. An eternity of embarrassment.
Type 1 if you really feel like there's a difference.
I'm not ready.
Prepare for battle.
I'm not sure I can tell. If I didn't play Dota for a year and then use Chrono, I'm not sure if I would know. You got a 25 radius buff. I don't know. I can see it if I look very closely, but I honestly don't see it very much. Here I feel like it looks more apparent. Well, it's a small buff. I'll take it. Feels a very little larger, but I can barely tell, I must say. I don't think I would be able to tell if I did not read this change. So Lich, base intelligence increased by 2, Sinister Gaze cooldown reduced, as I said. Chain Frost damage increased by a little bit. It's the same level 1, then 25, then 50 more. Okay. And then talents level 20, whatever, man. Level 25 Lich talent, I shoot your, whatever. Whatever. I think it's very irrelevant. These buffs, I think they don't matter that much. They're nice buffs, they're convenient buffs. That's whatever. Luna, base health reach increased by 0.5. I think this is nice. This hero could use some small buff. Did get buffed last patch. One of the last patches. If I'm not mistaken. Base damage was increased, right? Luna. Base damage increased by 4. Now you get some more HP regen. Yeah, why not? I like it. I think this hero is interesting and strong. So I like this Luna buff. Medusa gets a strength gain increase for whatever reason. Mirana, base mana regen increased by 0.4 and your Starstorm cast point reduced again. Oh, this hero, she got that buff twice, I think. It was also 7.22, I guess. Mirana got an Aghanims buff and the Starstorm, like both Starstorm related buffs, I think. Okay, attack point was increased, base attack speed was increased, and the okay. This is the first time she has that increase on the cast point. I feel like there was one not too far ago. That you can remember previous changes to heroes. Yeah, it's important. You need to pay attention to these things for sure. Let's see if we can feel a difference here on whatever the stars are. This is minor buff. I haven't played bottom in a while. Honestly, this is another change where I'm not sure I can tell right now. I cannot really tell. Simply because I haven't played much bottom. It looks a bit smoother, I must say. But so yeah, we were at bottom. Morphling, thank you. I hope this is a nerf. Waveform cooldown increased by 3, 2, 1. This is very big because you don't max waveform early. Waveform is the last spell you max. People go 1, 4, 4, right? So this matters a lot. You may have to go back to putting some levels in waveform because that cooldown, it doesn't scale down by 1 as it used to. Now I think it used to scale down by 1. Now it's scaled down by 2, and now it scales down by 3. So this matters a lot because people go this fucking 144 build, right? Why can't you type a hero name? And then they also increased the mana cost. This matters. I think Morphling has been getting hit quite a bit recently on these nerfs. Definitely matters. Necrophos. Man, this hero... Oh, I don't know how it happens, but this hero gets buffed every year before TI. Somehow. For no reason. So far from what I saw, this is a buff. Hearts up or heal region per stack increase from 2, 3, 5, 5, 6, 5. So it's a 1, 5 increase. Instead, it starts 1, 5 more and then goes up by 1. So at level 1, it nearly doubles your heal. It gives you 1, 5 more heal, then 1, then 0.5, then the same. And in terms of mana, it always gives you 0.5 more. That is very big. This is very much. I mean, they nerfed him last patch with the aura. Was it 7.22B or 7? It was 7.22B. Hearts of aura damage type change from pure to magical. It does not go through BKB anymore, and I think it used to do that before. So it's somewhat counterplaying that nerf. I don't know if he was touched at 7.22. Necro. They I mean, the hero is good. The hero is certainly good. So, moving on. Nyx Assassin. Base health region reduced from 3.25 to 2.5. This is nice. I think this was one of the nicer ways to actually nerf this hero. You slightly nerf his base health region or you nerf his base armor. His base armor is 4. And his base region was 3.25. Switching from pure to magic damage is actually a buff. If you play Necro with magic reduction heroes, that's where Valve wants to push the hero. No, that's not true. Listen, if you have magic damage and pure damage, okay? Pure damage will naturally deal 25% more damage because there's no way of reducing it, okay? There's no pure damage reduction. There's magic damage reduction, 25%. If you play Necro now and you buy a Veil and you use it on a hero that has no magic items, no magic reduction items, okay? You will basically put him on 0%, which means you will regain the last patch aura, okay? If you Veil a hero, you deal the same damage as it used to when it was pure damage. Basically. It's around that. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but kind of. But then you also need to consider there might be pipes. Some guy might have a hood, a couple bracers, they give you magic resistance. You know, stuff like that. Let's check real quick. If I play Necro and I Veil some dude, like how much percent does he go on magic reduction? I don't even know. I think they go close to 0. I definitely think that it is a big nerf. Let's spawn this guy.
For battle.
Let's level to max. He has how much? He has 26% damage reduction. Okay, let's. Whatever. I have to do it like this. I forgot the command. Let's put him to 25. He has 31 magic resistance now. Let's buy a veil. And he goes down to 14%. So it's still, even with veil, it deals less damage than it would when back to when it was pure damage. And it does not go for BKB, right? It does not go through BKB. So this is another nerf. It used to go through BKB. So it mattered a lot. Because in people's BKB, you would actually touch them. You would deal like 20%, 23% of their health if you were around them during their BKB. Of course, you wouldn't be next to them for 10 seconds, but I'm just saying. Anyway, a good buff to somewhat counteract what did happen in the last patches. I still think this hero is very strong, very potent for sure. Nyx, I like the nerfs on this hero. They nerfed his base health regen by 0.75, and they nerfed his spike carapace duration from 2 to 522. I think that's fine. Phantom Lancer getting some very minor buffs. Your illusions deal, instead of 60% damage, it dealt 18. I didn't even know they dealt 16. I would have never known this number. And then they buffed his level 10 talent from 15 to 20%. I actually think they're trying to make these talents like more viable. I think Medusa has this talent. And Terrorblade has this talent. Like they have level 10 evasion talents that they're trying to make viable. It's 15% on this guy. I think it can be good if you play against heroes like PL. Terrorblade also has it, but it's still 10% and you won't take that over 20 movement speed on this hero. But now I feel like you can take this talent for sure now on Phantom Lancer. Like for sure. 20 attack speed, it's fine, it's great, it's a glove of haste, but 20% evasion? Imagine you go Diffusal Blade, first item. You play against some right-click heroes. Boom, you go fight. Suddenly, every 5th attack, it misses. You know? Or you go Yasha Diffusal. It's just gonna make you feel a lot better. So, honestly, this is pretty cool. I like that. I think this is a nice buff to the hero. It's like nothing crazy, but it's a nice way of buffing it, through a talent rather than stats or whatever. Phoenix, one of my favorite heroes. Fire Spirit's release no longer has a micro cast point interruption. Fire Spirit's release, so when you throw them. And then Icarus Dive cooldown reduced. This hero was nerfed in this way a while ago. When was this hero nerfed the last time? Because they increased his dive cooldown. He got buffed in 7.22. Was unchanged in 7.21D. It was unchanged in 7.21C. Pepega. Unchanged in 7.21B. This hero was nerfed at some point, I'm sure. They nerfed his dive cooldown. Sunray no longer moves forward. I need to Google it. They nerfed the slow amount in 7.210. You can see it when you open hero menu. Where? I'm a Pepega. I can't see it here, but it says in 7.2 they nerfed. This hero has been getting buffed quite a bit more recently. Reduced launch fire spirit. Let me check the Phoenix of Pepega G. Pepega clap. Hover over the skill. If it's too far away, you don't see it. I did not see that on the benefit. So let me use fire spirits. There's no micro cast point when you throw it out. I don't know, I don't feel anything. Okay, you cannot throw it while you TP. Wasn't Phoenix weak because Drow's OP made everyone hit like they have moonshots? Kind of. Thank you, Atlas. I also think that KheZu flip is the best emote. I don't know, you can throw it while moving. I kind of feel like you could do that before already. Like, yeah, I mean, it was very minor. It says it was Phoenix changelog. I can show it to you. You can use it while moving now. Shift move. The cooldown at slow was always constant and people left it at level 2 since the damage level from 1 to 2. Dude, they nerfed the... I can show it to you. Display capture. Look. They reduced here in 7.20, reduced Icarus life movement speed slow from 28. They made it scale. They gave it more reason to be leveled up. And now reduced Fire Spirit cast time from 0.01 to 0. I like how there's a question mark so you can read on it and then nothing comes. And basically launching
Subscribe.
and casting it was reduced from 001 to 0. I don't know if I'm supposed to feel that. But 001 doesn't feel very much. Yo, Atlas America, thank you for the tier 1 sub. When I move cursor over the skill, sure. But it doesn't go all the way back, you know? Here, it just shows me this one. Fucking schema, boy. I clicked on the question mark, nothing happens. Just saying. I could not use it while TPing either. Oh no, the micro change is low. I agree. HG. I couldn't feel anything. I play a lot of Phoenix. I couldn't feel a difference. Let's go back to 7.21c. So that you can throw spells without micro starting. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it seems more like a quality of life change. But okay, we were at Phoenix. Let's go at Puck. This hero has been getting a lot of buffs, man. This hero has been steadily buffed. Before we check out this buff in 7.22c, let's check out the other change, the other patch notes, because I think this hero has been getting worked. So in 7.22 he gained a +4 int gain and a 0.4 int gain and a 0.2 strength gain. Let's check 7.21d. Here he actually got nerfed because it didn't latch onto the heroes anymore. But then they kind of buffed his talents, in my opinion. Okay, I think this hero is not bad, for sure. Where was I? Puck. So in this patch, oops, skipped over it. He gains 0.5 health regen, the same buff that Luna got. Level 25 Dream Coil talent no longer requires enemies to be in attack range of Puck, as long as Puck is within 200 range of the edge of the circle. Of the coil circle. Level 25 Dream Coil talent attack interval reduced from 0.7 to 0.6 to 0.7. So you attack slightly slower. So you don't get 6 attacks off. No, wait, the coil duration scales if you... I'm looking for coil. So if you have coil without ags lasts 6 seconds, which means in the last patch, if you took the talent, you would hit 10 times. You won't hit 10 times now. You hit 8 times now. Okay, and if you buy Aghanim's, it lasts 8 seconds, I believe. It's 8 seconds. So you hit 11 times now, if you have Ags. And you used to hit 13 times. Okay. Wait, Puck used to have 0 HP regen? No, people have base health regen. People have 0, Nyx has 3, whatever. Like Puck, instead of having 1.7, he has 2.2 now. Basically. But the hits are reliable now. But it's easier to get the hits off, yeah. Talent. You gain, instead of +5 all, you get +6. People don't have base region heroes though. Guns don't kill people. Level 10 talent increased. Cast. Both these talents are pretty cool now, to be honest. Sand King. Strength gain reduced. Sandstorm mana cost increase. I can get behind these changes. This hero is insanely strong. I still think he's very strong now. I like that they nerfed it this way and not like the damage or something. Base attack speed on Shaman reduced by 10. I can dig that. Concussive shot damage increased from 70 and then 70 up to 100 and then 60 up. So you had the same later, but you're 30, 20, 10 more. This is nice. Level 10 talent change from 8 intelligence to 30% XP gain. Uh-oh. This hero having an XP gain talent is very scary, especially when it's played core. I think this buff matters quite a bit. These two buffs. I dig it. Zara gets a base HP region increase. 2.6 now, level 1. Matters very minor. Stormhammer, so we're looking over to Sven. Damn, these are big nerfs. 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, and then the same. And then goes from 40 to 60 mana. The hero's still a good core, but his laning is slightly worse now. Luckily, this is one of the spells you skill up first. You get at least 2 levels in this spell. Like usually when you're out of 3, you go 2, 1, 0, right? So this does matter, but I think this hero is still playable, for sure. Terrorblade gets a strength gain increase. I mean, whatever. I'm fine with that. Timbersaw base strength increased by 2 and base mana region increased. This hero has also, like, be careful guys. This hero has been getting buffed as well. So 7.22C, the hero gets 40 more HP, 2 base damage, and some base HP region. In 7.22, this hero got better talents level 10, 1 base armor, I believe. Where is it? Here. He got a strength gain increase by 0.4, int gain increase by 0.3, base armor. So within the last 2 patches, he gained 2 base strength, which means 2 damage, 40 HP, 0.4 more strength gain, 0.3 more int gain, 1 base armor, and better talents. This hero is good. I'm sure this hero is good now. And this is one of my favorite heroes. Or, well, not one of my favorite heroes, but I used to like this hero quite a lot. We used this hero a lot back when I played an Escape, actually. Tinker. Which I just said, like, removed hero from the game. March to Machines mana cost reduced by... What were these numbers? It went from 145 to 150, then up by 15, and then up by 25. This looks so... I had to read this twice. I'm like, what is this? So level 1, you lower it by 15. Then it's the same. Then you're 0.5, and then you're the same again. What the... Okay. So this matters when you use level 1 March. Only. Because then it's the same anyway. I'm very confused. I know it, like, now it increases nicely by plus 20 per level, but what? Whatever. Talents change from 30. Why this hero had a movement speed talent is beyond me in the first place. And now he get... Did I just read right? He gets 150 GPM. His other talent is 10% spell lifesteal to 15 and March to Machines damage. From plus 8 March to Machines to 10. Like, is this damage or do you spawn 10 more machines? Why do you... What? These talents are both insanely strong. It's not like he already didn't farm fast. He already killed the whole map. Damn. This matters a lot, these 15 talents. I mean, I don't play this fucking hero because he's a piece of shit. Oh god. I hate this hero. It's one of the heroes I hate the most. Techie's Tinker. First 2 heroes I will remove if I'm Ice Rock. I'm Ice Rock for a day, I remove those 2 heroes. Treant Protector gets a base armor increase by 1. Oh, Seb is smiling. And overgrowth duration by 0.25. This hero was recently buffed with this spell already. And base armor. What's this base? He went from 0-4 to 1-4. Holy shit. That matters a lot. Damn. That's a pretty big buff on Treant, dude. This hero's already good. Damn. Troll Warlords. They nerfed the melee damage. Whirling Axis melee, so the blinding ones, by 25 linear. Okay, that's fine. Task movement speed increased by 5. Okay. Like, who cares? Who fucking cares? Thank you for 5 movement speed, says Tusk. Underlord base armor increased by 1. Don't do anything to this hero. This hero is a piece of shit. Last patch he got an increase on his W by 15. And the his cooldown went down by 2 each level. I think that's it. I mean, this hero is boring anyway. Whatever, he gets 1 base armor, cool. Fix the Undying. Fix the +5 Tombstone attack and not causing the right amount of health change. Classic. Fix Soul Rip, not healing Tombstone for the intended amount. Nice. So Tombstone was basically cucked. Good job. Soul Rip. Soul Rip max unit count reduced from 10, 12, 14, 16. So -2 per level. Soul Rip heal damage increased by 4 per level. So you could get 180 damage with 10 targets. Now you get 176 damage with 8. I mean, it's easier to deal the same amount of damage now, basically. Yeah, I like that. This is pretty good, dude. I mean, Undying, he gets buffed because his spells didn't work properly last patch. And then he gets a normal buff on this spell. This is pretty cool. I like this. Vengeful Spirit. Magic Missile cooldown reduced. Huh. Okay, that's nice. Oh, we're getting to the end. Warlock. Fatal Bonds damage reduced by 1% on each level. And then level 10 talent reduced from 5 to 4. So Warlock got 1% worse on Fatal Ones. Well, 1% looks funny, but it matters because it's bound to 6 heroes. It's just a funny 1% meme. It's a good start, I guess. Thank you. Thumbs up, Ice Frog. Weaver, Geminate attack. Geminate attack bonus damage from 10, 20, 30, 40 to 10, 25, 40, 55. Okay. Sure. I think this hero was buffed recently as well. Somewhere. It's pretty easy to check because I can just check on the bottom. He got a 0.4 mana regen and 20 attack speed. Okay. Which changes did I like the most? Axe, interesting. CK, interesting. Kling's, interesting hero. Need to check. Clockwork has potential. I think Darkseer is fine. Willow buff is cool. I don't know if it's not back to where it used to be, but it's good. Dazzle is interesting. I think Dragon Knight, whatever. ET, slight buff. Enge, I hope this hero doesn't come back, so stay dead. The Enigma change doesn't matter so much. Void might be on the way back slowly. Quality of life change for Huskar doesn't change much. Invoker, +1 base armor. Quality of life, slightly good, not sure how good. Io, good nerfs, still broken hero in my opinion. Coddle, whatever. Decent buff. Lich, doesn't matter too much in my opinion. Luna, I like this. Even though it doesn't look like much, I think it's good. Whatever. Convenient. Slight buff. Good nerf. I think this matters a lot. I think Morphling is one of the biggest losers in the last patches. I think very good. Necro got buffed in this patch after being nerfed in the last 2. I think this hero is still very strong. I think these buffs matter a lot. Nyx Assassin nerf, I like. Still good hero, but not as stupid. Phantom Lancer, I like these buffs a lot. Bonus damage and more evasion. I think this level 10 talent is very good. I want to play some Phantom Lancer, honestly. Phoenix gets some very mediocre. Puck can attack his coil targets while being phase shifted. He could do that last patch as well. It's nothing new about that. Puck, Phoenix, small buffs, very quality of life, very minor. I already like this hero, so it's good. Puck was buffed in this patch. I like it. Sand King nerfed, still good hero. Shaman nerfed, still decent. I think this Skyref matters a lot. I think be aware. Be aware of core Skyref middle. Sada gets base region. Sven nerfs I like. Still playable. Terrorblade buff, whatever. Timbersaw, this hero is coming to your pubs. Timbersaw should be coming to your pubs. Tinker, I don't want to talk about it. I actually want to lie and say the hero's garbage, but this hero is going to come, and I don't want it. I don't want it to come. Pepega on these numbers, first of all. Like, this is what this hero is. It's Pepega. Check these numbers, and then tell me this hero isn't stupid. Or that whoever made this, like, wasn't high, thinking of these numbers. Okay, Ice Frog, let's do 145 into 150, and then 165 into 190. Okay, man. Then they buffed his talents. I think this hero good. I don't like it. Treant Protector, good buff. I like it. Troll Warlord, whatever. Tusk, whatever. Underlord, I don't like you. Whatever. Undying, nice buff. Venge, mediocre. Mediocre nerf and mediocre buff. But combined with the last buffs, probably good. So, okay. So, with that said, doesn't seem like unreasonable scaling. It just looks funny. It goes from 145 to 150. But whatever. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this patch review. If you did, you know, this is going to end up on YouTube. Make sure you check out my socials, whatever, whether it's Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. I'll try to get a little more videos uploaded to YouTube. So feel free to, you know, subscribe to the channel and whatnot. And yeah, I'm going to go play some pubs now. So thanks for tuning in.